104.5 The Team, your home for Albany football. Joining us on the phone right now, our good friend, head coach Greg Gattuso. Early signing day in the books. I'm always skittish on this one, Coach. Like, there's so many questions I can't ask you, and I can ask you. And Goz votes for the Heisman, so he's a mime. What do you have? What can you tell me? What can we get excited about so far with signing day?
Well, the simple rule of thumb with recruiting is you cannot talk about anybody who has not signed a letter of intent. So yesterday we had 8 guys sign letter of intent with us. We have a few more that are going to for various reasons that weren't able to do it this week. But so we can talk by name about those guys, and you certainly can talk about philosophy, needs, whatever else you want to talk about in general terms, we can talk about. How's that for a little start to the education?
I like it.
That's very good. Can we ask about the player from Troy and the player from Shaker? We'll stay local with those two guys, the offensive lineman and the secondary player.
You certainly can ask about those young men. The local guys, Joe Casal is from Troy and is a safety. I'm really excited about Joe. He's the best thing I can say about him is he's just a really good football player, and Joe kind of oozes leadership ability. And when you watch them play, he plays defense, plays offense. He's an impact player on both sides. We're really excited about Joe. Joe's brother Dave is an Albany grad, was a really good football player at Albany. So it's a good deal for us to get him, and we think he's going to be a heck of a football player for us.
Coach, I watched him play quarterback. He throws a nice pass. Is there any chance he gets in there at some point on the offense as well as the defense?
No.
All right. Perfect.
How is that? How clear is that? That's good?
Is that a conversation you had to have with him? Was it like, or did he have with you?
No.
How'd that work?
No, Joe's a really, Joe's a kid that looking at, he wants a red shirt. He wants his education. He's got a plan in place on his educational plans, and I love guys like that. That are just really focused on what their future is going to be, and kind of plan out their 4 years. And that's Joe Casal. He's really focused on, he wants to be a business major. He wants to graduate early. He wants to get some advanced credits as in his 5th year, and he's got this thing all mapped out, and I like that he has a plan, and I hope we're able to execute it that way, because he's going to be a really good football player for us. He reminds me a lot of Josh Wynn, type of athlete that he is who's been starting for us the last few years, another local product. So we're excited about him.
Coach, I probably should have led with this question. Some people might be confused of why we're talking about signing day in December. What is the change of the rule that now players can sign on early signing day as opposed to the old February date?
Yeah, that's a good question. It is the NCAA decided to add an early signing date. I think the coaches would have liked an earlier signing date, so it would be spread out a little more. But it's a start. It's a lot of people don't know. Even some of the high school kids that we're recruiting, we're talking to them about signing. You're committed. Are you going to sign? We want you to sign the 20th, and they don't even know. So it's been a new kind of concept that we've had to educate a lot of coaches and kids about. But it gives a chance for kids who are verbally committed to make it official. And for us, we thought, we've kind of executed a plan where we knew we were going to give out probably 2/3 of our scholarships, and we're planning on January recruiting to finish our class. At this level of 1AA, we're going to wait for some guys to drop down from the FBS or BCS levels, and it happens every year. So, we're going to keep our eyes open and look for some good kids to add to this class.
We've got head coach for the Albany Great Danes, Greg Gattuso, with us right now on 104.5 The Team. Coach, how many guys are you looking to get in for the early? You said 2/3 of the scholarships. What's that number?
Well, we're about 8 or 9 right now. We're probably going to go up to 12 or 13, depending on who they are. So that's the number where we're at. We knew this was going to be a little smaller year for us. We were building depth early when we got here. We've had a good plan in place, and I think we've really worked hard at executing the plan, and we're prepared for this smaller class. But remember now, last year we redshirted every freshman but one, and we're really building our depth. And I'm really excited about the team we're going to be next year and going forward, because I think we can survive some injuries now. We can, we're linebackers are going to be in the system for a year or two before they play. O-linemen growing into the system. That's when you have a good program, when you're able to do that, and hopefully we're going to be able to start having more success and maintain it.
Coach, when you say you're picking your guys and everything, what's going to be the identity now that you've actually got, like you said, depth and kids who have been in the system long enough? What's the identity of the Great Danes if it's up to you this year, if everything works right?
I think you see flashes of who we want to be over the last few years. To be honest, we want to be a team that plays great defense. We were able to do that the last few years. We've been really good at times in special teams. As the year wears down, we lost some key individuals that hurt us in that area. We weren't as good at the end of the year, but we're going to be really good on defense, turnover margin, and I think the good thing is we're going to start being able to attack more on offense with our pass game, because we've gone through that a couple of years where we've been grooming quarterbacks, but I think that Will Brunson is really ready to step out. He's got 2 more years to start for us and be a great player, and I think our receiving core is really going to grow. So I really feel good about who we're going to be going forward. But we're going to be on offense. This year we should be more of a 60-40 mix. We feel great about getting Ebitoken Hanks back.
Yeah.
When you can add a, think about this now. We're adding in an All-American running back that we lost last year. That's worth a whole recruiting class almost. So, we feel good about who we are and where we're going, and we're sticking to our plan. And that involves doing a great job in recruiting and identifying the type of kids that fit into our program.
Coach, is that what you asked Santa for, Ebitoken Hanks?
Well, that was last Christmas, but I'm definitely going to I feel really good about where he's at. I think people don't realize that ACL injuries, they see these guys that come back in 9-10 months and play, but for most kids, they're not quite right. And at that position, with the burden they put on their knees and especially the way he cuts and moves, the redshirt year was really difficult for us to have to live through. But I think in the long run, it was the right thing for Ebitoken, for Elijah, and I think ultimately it'll be great for our team going forward in the next 2 years.
And Coach, just real quick, because I haven't seen anything show up in my house yet. What are you getting me for Christmas?
Well, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to give you a hint that there's a few X's on it, on the label.
So it's either moonshine or the jersey I've been waiting for, one way or the other. I'm a happy kid.
You don't know which one it's going to be. You'll know that on Monday.
That's much clearer than I thought you were going to say. That was going to have a distinct smell to it, like a dog had released it. That's very nice, Coach. Very good.
Oh, I would never say that to Mr. Levack.
At least not on the radio.
Yeah, certainly not on the radio.
Coach, man, we appreciate you, and you and your staff are phenomenal. We love you. We wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year.
Well, same to you and everybody that listens. It's a great time of year. Get with family. Have a great weekend and a holiday. Merry Christmas.